Good morning, preschool friends. How is everybody?
Buenos días, amigos y amigas, ¿cómo están?
All right, who's ready to sing our good morning song? To shoot fly, don't bother me. Ready? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to have some fun? Stand up and turn around. Woo! Then sit back in your chair. Give me a great big clap. Now fold your hands in your lap. But then you have to take your hand out because we need it for our I love you ritual, right? We need it for our I love you ritual. Where is it? This one. Okay. So we're going to start with our pinky finger, remember? This little finger went to school in a car. Vroom, right to you. This little finger rode the bus. Beep, 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 beep. This tall finger rode her bicycle. And this one chose to walk. This one had to go, this thumb lived so far away that it had to go up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and around to get into school. How would you like to get to school? Would you like to take a car or a bus? I would like to ride a horse to school. Wouldn't that be fun?
Mhm.
Or a dinosaur? That would be fun. Is that silly? I think that's kind of silly. All right, the story. Remember, we're reading about stone soup and what happened so far? We had soldiers. Remember, they were so hungry and they saw the people in the town, and the people in the town, did they give them their food when they knocked on their door? They said, no, we don't have any food. And is that the truth? Is that the truth? Did they have food? No, they did have food. They hid it. Remember, they were hiding it all around. And remember, the soldiers had an idea, and they had a big pot, and then they had water and a fire. So they were going to make stone soup, and let's see what the people do. Okay, here we go. And now, if you please, 3 round, smooth stones. Those were easy enough to find. The peasants' eyes grew round as they watched the soldiers drop the stones into the pots. So now they're starting their stone soup. Let's see. Any soup needs salt and pepper, said the soldiers as they began to stir. Children ran to catch the salt and pepper. Stones like these generally make good soup, but oh, if there were carrots, it would be much better. Why, I think I have a carrot or two, said Franscosi, and off she ran. She came back with her apron full of carrots from the bin beneath her red quilt. Those clever soldiers. A good stone soup should have cabbage, said the soldiers as they sliced carrots into the pot. But no one's asking for what you don't have, they said. And what do you think they're going to do? I think I could find a cabbage somewhere, said Marie, and she hurried home. Back she came with 3 cabbages from the cupboard under her bed. If only we had a bit of beef and a few potatoes, this soup would be good enough for a rich man's table. The peasants thought that over. They remembered their potatoes and their sides of beef hanging in the cellars, so they ran off to fetch them. A rich man's soup, and all from a few stones. It seemed like magic. There they are with all their bundles of potatoes and their meat. Ah, sighed the soldiers as they stirred in the beef and potatoes. If only we had a little barley and a cup of milk, this would be fit for the king himself. Indeed, he asked for such soup when he dined with us. The peasants looked at each other. The soldiers had entertained a king? Well, but no use asking for what you don't have, the soldiers sighed. The peasants brought their barley from their lofts and brought their milk from their wells, and the soldiers stirred the barley and milk into the steaming broth while the peasants stirred. At last the soup was ready. All of you shall taste, the soldier said, but first a table must be set. Great tables were placed in the square, and all around were lighted torches. Because there was no electricity, there was no light. They didn't have a light that you could flip on and flip off like we do. They had to use torches to light the darkness up. Such soup! How good it smelled! Truly fit for a king. But then the peasants asked themselves, would not such soup require bread and a roast and cider? Soon a banquet was spread and everyone sat down to eat. Never had there been such a feast. Never had the peasants tasted such soup and fancy made from stones. They ate and drank and ate and drank, and after that they danced. They danced and sang far into the night. There they are, dancing and singing and eating. As they were tired, at last they were tired, and the three soldiers asked, is there not a loft where we could sleep? Let three such wise and splendid gentlemen sleep in a loft indeed. They must have the best beds in the village. So the first soldier slept at the priest's house. There he is sleeping. The second soldier slept at the baker's house. And the third soldier slept at the mayor's house. There they are. 1, 2, 3 soldiers sleeping in 3 houses. In the morning, the whole village gathered in the square to give them a send-off. Many thanks for what you have taught us, the peasants said to the soldiers. We shall never go hungry now that we know how to make soup from stones. Oh, it's all in the knowing how, said the soldiers, and off they went down the road. Such men don't grow on every bush. That means they are very special. And off they go. The end. What did you think of that story?
It was a very nice ending, right?
It was. They all had a celebration. Remember when they were eating and dancing? Remember, what ways do you celebrate? We have to be thinking about that, and remember to remind mom and dad to take pictures to send, and a recipe too. So we had in the book they had stone soup. What's your favorite recipe? Right? Remind your grown-up to write it down. Maybe you can even draw a picture of it. We're gonna make a book. We're gonna put it in our book. Okay? So we will see you later. Let's sing. See you later. See you later. See you later when we meet again. See you soon.